In today's video, I'm going to look back on my plans for success in 2023 and talk about my plans for success in 2024, both business and personal. Hey there, Joomla fans. Let me just adjust this camera here. Yeah, Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thank you for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 233 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. So it's a work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them to Joomla 4. And so if you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even to get you out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Hello to Valerie. Says she can finally join one of these. Great. Yeah, usually I'm on Wednesdays, but my son and his family and my daughter and her family were here. We celebrated Christmas a couple days late, a couple days after Christmas Day. So, yeah, this was postponed to Friday. And hello, Mary. Yeah, woohoo for 2024. You can tell I have a little bit of a frog in my voice. I'm not even sure that I have a cold. I just think I abused myself with not eating properly, and then I stayed up too late the other night. So we'll talk more about that as we go along. All right. So today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, MySites.Guru. There's some exciting stuff coming up for MySites.Guru in 2024, I know of. And anyway, so do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Head on over to MySites.Guru, get a free site audit for it. While you're there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. And subscribe. Use the coupon code BASICJoomla. Get the first month free. I think you get the first month free anyways, which I've been saying. And there's Stefan. Hey, Stefan. Stefan's on his phone. Glad that you could be here on your phone. Okay. Alan, Happy New Year to you. All right. So, background picture for today. Let's check it out. In fact, let's get rid of this. This is a little picture that Susan and I took probably about a week ago. You know, the week leading up to Christmas, we realized after we had been to a Christmas party for the worship team at our church, and then after church, we realized that the whole next week before Christmas, we had nothing planned. And so we talked about what we could do, and we decided, yeah, we're just going to do nothing. And but one of the things we did do was we went for a walk. This is at a trail in a park near our house. They have a bunch of bridges, and they have these lights stretched covering that you can walk through on the bridges. So we did that after we went and walked for tea. Excuse me. Another thing that happened that week was I had to replace the hot water tank. So I didn't do it, but it took extra time. But it was really nice not being jammed for that. All right, so that's the background picture for today. So Merry Christmas and belated Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year in a couple of days from me and Susan. Now, for the rest of today, I thought, well, what am I going to do for the background? Because that's not really that's kind of a busy background. And I thought about maybe just going with just this orange, but it's kind of drag. It's a little bit plain, I think. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn back the camera here. Let's see, let's turn that off. Oh, don't turn that off. And I'm going to just pull back the curtain. Now, how do I do that? Easy here. I just have to figure out how to turn off the background. Now, you would have thought that I would do that before I started the live stream, right? But let's just see here. Oh boy. All right. Well, yeah. Settings. Let's see. Stream output. Somewhere along here, there's a place for me to do this. Oh, maybe it was here. Filters. Background removal. There we go. Yeah, that's all right. So here we are. CyberSalt World headquarters here. I have a curtain drawn, which works nicely. Usually I get rid of the back of my chair so it wraps better, but now I'm going to pull the curtain back, just like in The Wizard of Oz. And as many of you know, This is where Susan works, at the desk behind me. And she waves hi. My beautiful assistant. It's like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. She's the wizard that's running everything. So
She's not.
she's running a lot, though. All right. Yeah, so we'll just hang out here in the office. Take out all the mystery. This is my 6th live stream at the end of the year to talk about plans for success for the next year. And the reason, the way that it started was, 6 years ago, or when I needed a topic for a live stream. It was the end of the year. I didn't know what to do, and I thought, hey, I'll just make some plans for success, talk about that and things that I'm going to do. And then I found out a year later when I look back, I actually accomplished some of those goals. So I thought, hey, goal setting works. So I've done it every year. And I'm really happy because I thought, well, I know last year when I went looking for my plans that I had listed, I had them in a Notepad++ document that just sat open. And then today I thought, oh, I wonder if I did that last year. I thought, no, I think I actually made something in ClickUp. So I did a quick search in ClickUp for the word success and found my notes from last year. So I'm actually pretty pleased by that because I'm always trying to be better organized and more disciplined in how I organize things. And so that worked out well. So first I'm going to change my glasses here, and then I'm going to talk about some of my plans that I set for this year and whether I reach them or not. And by the way, it's not just about me. Of course, I'm the only one talking. I want to hear your plans too. Share whatever, how this past year went for you in business or personally, for your goals or what you were hoping to accomplish, and you can talk about. We'll talk about later on for this year as well. So you can just put that in chat. All right. Breakfast. It's an orange. So at the top of my list last year, I had buying a business, 21 clients. And I did buy that business, and I'm still onboarding those clients. There's a couple that I'm still behind on. So that I haven't been as smooth as I should have been with that, but got some very good clients out of that, and that has really helped with the business. The fellow that I bought the business off of, I bought it for a sum of money plus 20% of income in the first year. And so there's some things, like I said, I haven't invoiced. And there were some sites that need to be migrated to Joomla 4, and that has not happened yet. With the end of the year here, I'm still going to honor my agreement, of course. And as I navigate catching up on the billing just for this year for those clients. And then also, if I can get more of those clients to migrate to Joomla 4, or at least approach them, then if they do migrate, I will still give the 20% of the cost of that to the person that I bought the business off of. Anyways, that worked really well. I would do that again. More about that in a bit. All right. Next thing was, let me just turn off this incoming call here. There we go. Make sure I didn't accidentally answer, as I sometimes do. Wrong PIN number. And I just turned this into airplane mode right there. Wi-Fi is off, flight mode is on. All right, no one should bother me now. Yeah, building out a team. So I've had limited success doing that, and we're going to talk about this one in the plans for next year. But I am the hindrance to that. It's very hard to delegate and let go of things, especially when you're chasing the tyranny, when you're facing the tyranny of the urgent. And so while I have reached out to some people to help out with some projects, I need to do that much more. So I would have to give probably myself a failing grade on that for reaching out. But it is there just the same. And so that was one of my goals last year. And I also have here Joomla training cohort. I wanted to build that up bigger, and that did not really happen as far as an organized way. Now, one of the things that I had last year that I mentioned was that I have here Shabazz build out sites. So Shabazz is is a team member in Thailand, and he is. I actually have had him working on the CyberSalt site, so I have made progress on that goal. He has added all of my videos as articles to the site, and worked on making sure the thumbnails are in there, and I've sort of given him. I've just encouraged him to tell me things that he noticed so that we can work on the site and make it better. Now, one of those things is the menu is out of control up in the top. So that was good. I'm really happy to have more built on the site. As far as the Joomla training cohort goes, and that's just going back, that factors into some plans for 2024. Balance, more emphasis on personal projects. I would not say that 2023 was a balanced year between me and personal projects, so that's a fail. And you know what? I mean, yeah, we have to be kind to ourselves. In fact, some of my goals for 2024, you see, I know I cannot reach them, but I'm going to aim in that direction and make progress. So if you're looking back on 2023 and was not the heyday or barn burner that you thought it was going to be, there's no sense dragging negative feelings about that into the new year, because that's just going to hinder the next things that you try. We try things. Some things we succeed at, some things we don't. Sometimes there's circumstances that come up that we didn't anticipate. And the other thing, too, is we forget what we do consistently as well. So, for instance, I was again, another consistent year making videos. There were some breaks when I traveled. But it's not like, oh, I failed to, I only put out 10 videos last year, or only kept up with 15 maintenance Mondays. So there was that. And also I was very busy doing support for PHP Web Design, that company, especially Migrate Me 4. And so that factors in too. So if when you're looking at things that you're hoping to accomplish, or looking back on whether you accomplished or not, sure, there's those things that are just super important and that stick out, and those things stick out for a reason. They're probably something that really have a significance to us beyond just what we want them to accomplish. Probably we have to ask ourselves, well, what's it going to give me how I feel about myself if I reach those goals or do those things? Sometimes it's like, oh, I would be finally make my parents happy, or I would finally be successful like my sibling is or was, all sorts of things like that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in our minds. So be kind to yourself when you're looking back. Another thing, the last thing that I have listed here is going to Joomla Day USA in Austin. And I did do that. Susan and I went to Joomla Day in Austin, Texas, and it was a blast. Excuse me. It was really good. It was great to be with other Joomla people. It was really just a really enjoyable time. We enjoyed the extra days that we spent in Austin afterwards, and that was really great. Now, Joomla Day USA this year is in Tennessee and in Nashville, and I was going to go to it, but we kind of got looking forward into the year of everything that we were going to do, and with my parents are getting up in their years. My mom has is in the early stages of dementia, so I want to be traveling home more often just to spend time with them, especially as it's just coming up on the second anniversary of my sister passing away. So it was just my sister and I, my parents, just a family of four of us. So I realized, you know what, if I go to J-Day USA in person and do some trips to Ontario to see my parents, and Susan has a milestone birthday coming up at the end of January, so we decided that we would do a trip to Israel, which of course is off because of the war. Then I just realized, oh, you know what, I just can't take that much time away. So I'm not going to J-Day USA in person But I'm definitely going to take part by video and be present for that. And I've offered to speak too as well. So we'll see. Anyway, so that's what I had listed last year for my business. Personal goals, no videos on Facebook. I think towards the end of the year I slipped on that one when I saw that one. Unfollow unhealthy Facebook people. I mention this every year. You know, Facebook is something for something that Facebook and social media is something that should enrich our lives. And if you're getting cranked when you read it, or people are posting things and it's like, oh, and it's annoying, or you know, you just don't need that in your life. So what I do is I unfollow people whose posts consistently make me feel those things when I am on Facebook. By unfollowing, you're still friends with them, so you're not telling them, you know, they don't feel dumped or anything like that. But it is just something for balance. So I leave that on there, and I have that for my goal for next year as well, for 2024, because I just think that's a consistent thing to do. Social media, like anything online, is great, but it especially can be toxic. Because of the interaction that we're having with people. There's all kinds of dynamics there, of course. We all know the drill for that. So another goal I had last year was get out of bed sooner. And I had a period of time where I set myself a 1 o'clock bedtime and 1 a.m. bedtime. And that was actually going pretty good for me. But that sort of collapsed towards the end of the year as well. So, you know, went back into old habits. So get out of bed sooner. I think that'll factor into my plans for 2024. But yeah, and then it said new work habits, and that's kind of vague. So maybe I was more specific last year in the video talking about it. I do need to have some new work habits, and a lot of that is going to factor into my plans for 2024. So. All right, I don't see anything in chat here. How do you guys feel about 2023? Looking back, how would you rate yourself? You can give yourself a letter grade or a percentage on how the year was for the way that you grew, that you wanted to grow, whether in business or personally, or you can put that in chat if you want. Before I move on, I will say this, that one of my goals for personally was to become a more positive person. And but what I mean by that is, I mentioned my mom has the early stages of dementia, and mom's go-to spot for life. She starts out, and I love my mom, and her life has been a great life. She's a great mom. Has loved me like any son would want his mom to love him, and but some she's kind of gotten into a bit of a default setting of being negative when things happen, and so that's. Which is fine. That's just quirky. We all can be like that. But now that she has the beginning of dementia, she kind of goes there pretty easy, and it's kind of hard. And so I've just realized that if I end up getting dementia, the kind of person that I am with dementia, well, I don't have control over that, of course, but the best chance of being, I want to be a positive dementia person. I just want to be a positive person too. So I've been trying very, very hard to be positive, and just really asking God to help me to be like that, so that I can change, so that in 25 years, when I'm my mother's age, that maybe my default position is more of a positive one. And again, I'm not piling on my mom or anything like that, because she's had lots happen in her life, and we all go through those times, right? So now, interestingly, so for the last couple of years, I've had problems with my stomach, and I've had tests, and I've been on medication, and just when I know that barley makes it flare up, but my doctor asked me to stop taking the pills as a test just to see what happened. And that was back in June, and we were in Ontario, back east with my family, and I thought, well, I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to be in pain, so let's not experiment there. So when I got back, I started taking the pills every other day to step off of them, and then about 4 or 5 weeks later, I realized that I'd forgotten about the pills. I just stopped taking them, and I was fine. So I was like, oh, super happy, and thanking God for that. And then one day I was on email. I'd given someone a task to do. Hadn't gone very well. Anyways, I was just super frustrated, and it really bugged me. And kind of fit into other things that I was feeling with, trying to deal with the business, and trying to deal with managing the growth that I've had and stuff like that. Anyways, about an hour later, I noticed that my stomach was bothering me. And then I had that aha moment, that the thing that is causing my stomach attacks, and when I get them, I'm like done for like 8 or 10 hours. The rest of the day is not really much good for productive. Is that when I start to dwell on stuff or get negative or just am bugged by stuff, my stomach goes off. And so I am really grateful. I take that as an answer to my prayers, because now, when things come up, I just automatically am thinking, whoa, wait a second. Don't get all upset, Tim. Don't dwell on this. Just deal with what needs to be dealt with and take the steps. Otherwise, your stomach's going to bother you. And I just, and that is great. So I think that I am thinking that that's going to help me, that will reinforce things and just become a habit. And it's going to change who I am, so that I will just react to those situations because, and maybe even forget about the whole stomach thing. Would just react because will be my new normal. So that's some growth that happened for me personally this year, realizing that. So, all right, Mary says 2023 is okay. You're refining your business goals for 2024 to be working smarter. Awesome. Jeff Solar, hello, Jeff. Excuse me. Jeff, is this your first time on the live stream? Jeff says strong second half, going into a really strong 2024 on multiple fronts. Excellent. Way to go. Michael says hi, Happy New Year. He's here at the start, but the last 10 minutes. You weren't here at the start. You were here last 10. Oh, but missed the last 10 minutes. Okay. Valerie says she's helped some people with their websites. Early 2024, you want to go for it and find clients. Excellent. Yeah, remember what I've said, everybody. If you know how to do stuff in Joomla, then you can find people that you can do things for. And find clients that don't have sites, or that have sites that they've been maybe trying to do themselves, and you have better skill and can build for them. So, yeah, excellent. I think that's really good. All right. Now, as you can tell, my voice is just a little congested, so I'm going to take a quick break here and make all kinds of noise that you don't want to hear. So we're just going to pop out. Happy that you didn't hear that. Jeff says it's his first time on live. 3:37 a.m. in the Philippines. Great. Welcome, Jeff. All right. So yeah. So I did experience that personal growth, and that is good, because that's going to help me. That is going to help me. You know, man, and I've been praying that stomach thing would get sorted out, because it is no fun. especially if it's caused by things bugging me and I'm getting stressed because I'm falling behind my work. The last thing I need is to miss another day of work because I'm stressed, right? So, all right. So let's talk about coming up, and you guys keep sharing your comments in the below here. My plans for 2024 will start out with business. All right. Now, I want to tell you, this is something I did not do last year as a plan. Last year at this time. But something I brought in along the way that has really made a difference for me, and I'm going to keep doing it this year. So I'll make it a plan for this year. And that is I set myself a clean desk policy. All right. So every night when I go to bed, my desk is clean. Now, that doesn't mean it's empty, but my wallet has a place where it goes. My glasses I fold up and put where they go. I have 6 pieces of paper that I need to deal with. They're just off to the side. But everything, I just make the desk all clear so that in the morning it's a fresh start. I really just noticed how much energy, clutter, and disorganization in the visual space creates for me. All right, so that is something I'm going to keep doing because that has worked really well, and I got really good at it. So I do it every night. And so I upped it up a notch, and then I also sort of set a policy for myself. And I say policies because I think, my business is my business, right? So I'm working on my business. More about that in a second. Jeff says he needs that one. Okay, yeah, the clean desk policy, yeah. The other thing that I started doing is that I started turning my computer off every night. And so what that involves is that, because what I was doing, leave my computer would stay on for, like 2 weeks at a time. And I would have like 30 tabs open, like, I'll come back and deal with that later. I'll come back and deal with that later. And it was just, I wasn't getting a fresh start in the morning at all. And it was just, again, it was a visual clutter. So every night I close all the tabs. I usually have a Brave browser, a Chrome browser, and another Chrome browser open. So the last Chrome browser is the support email for PHP web design. The other Chrome browser has YouTube and my personal email. And then the Brave browser is the one I work in. So I close all of the tabs except for the mail, the beginning tab that I want the next morning, which is mail, or perhaps YouTube on that one that I check in the morning. And then I close those tabs, I close all programs, I close all little things, and then I shut my computer down. So in the morning or when I get to start working the next day, I come to a clean desk, I turn on the computer, and I have an empty screen, and then I open up the browsers, and then I start to read the emails and deal with what needs to be dealt with right away, and then slowly work my way down. So that has really, really been nice for me as well. I have had the odd exception where, like last week, I had everything all set up for the live stream. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? All set up for with Carlos' camera, and so I left the computer open so it would be working in the morning, and all set up. I wouldn't have to do that. And there has been the odd times like, I really need to do this first thing in the morning. I'm stopping. So, but as a rule for me, as the owner of the business has decreed to the employee of the business that computer should be off every night. So clean desk, computer off every night after all the tabs and everything have been closed. Now, the other goal that I set for myself at the beginning of November was to have a 0 inbox, and I managed to get it down to about, I think, high 200s, maybe 300. And then, which is, when you're doing a zero inbox, there's lots that you can catch up quick, get down, and number drops. But then you get down to things that you need to do. And man, the thing has been fighting me. I've been keeping up some days, but I still, right now, I have just over 400 emails in my inbox. So that's another goal that I have. And because that inbox is cluttered too. I know digital clutter, I'm not so much worried about. Like if you have a lot of pictures on your hard drive and you want to go through them someday, it's not hurting now to be on a hard drive. They're just small, right? It's not there in your face. Maybe it's hard to find things. Now, if you're looking for pictures often, then sure, you should organize it. But so I don't mind having a lot of stuff on the computer because it's sort of out of the way and it's there. You can search and you can find. But but inbox is a clutter for me because what happens is there are important things that need to be done and I miss them and fall behind on them, or I start getting emails from people saying, hey, I emailed this a couple weeks ago about this. Are you going to look at it? And then I realize, oh my goodness, I am like, yeah. So I'm working on that. One of the ways to help with that is to just, and I've talked about this in previous years, unsubscribe from Bacon. I think it's BACN is the term. So there's spam, which is emails that you get sent that you don't want. Then there's Bacon, which is emails that you get that you do want. And they're like alerts. Somebody logged on. Like, so for instance, mysites.guru, you can get an email that says somebody has logged onto a site. And that's great. That might be helpful. But I don't need to see that all the time. That's maybe just something I want to refer to later. So in Gmail, I can set up a filter just to delete that notice automatically. And then in Gmail, it's there for 30 days. So if ever I need to look and say, hey, did someone log into the site? Then I can do that. I can also, then you can go back in the trash and you can see that. You can also turn those emails off in mysites.guru. So there's things like that. Processing for newsletters going out, all kinds of things like that. Mary asked Jeff, is he up late or up early? Up early, he figures, although he hadn't been asleep long. He's very inconsistent sleep, having a team here and all your clients in the U.S. Yeah. Okay, so you're working U.S. hours there in the Philippines. Yep. Yep. That's a challenge. Okay, so I know someone that does that as well. A couple people. All right, so I find the same thing too when I'm working on sites for. One of the things about staying up late is just when I'm about ready to go to bed, everyone's waking up in Europe, and it's a great time to get things done quick for them. So that is a bit of a challenge. So what was I talking about just before that? Oh, Michael asked, what percentage of the 400 mails are relevant? I'd say at this point, probably at least, like I'm getting down to, I think some of them are threads. So for instance, if I catch up on a task that I'm behind, I can probably maybe close 4 or 5 emails or archive them. So I'd say 300 of them. 300, maybe, yeah, 300 of them. Anyways, yeah, it's a work in progress, and that's what I was talking about, the inbox. Now, I'm super excited going into the new year because we're talking about falling behind in emails and having clients contact you. I have a client in the UK, and he reached out to me and he says, "Oh, just wondering if you're going to look at this or whatever whatever I was behind on." And I told him, yes, I am, and I apologize to them because I was just overwhelmed. I was behind on things and trying to catch up in that. And then he very kindly said, "Oh, I was just emailing because I was concerned, make sure that you're okay." And then he said, he sent me a link to a book that he said that changed his perspective on business and owning a business. And so he shared the link with me, and he was so nice to do that. Because hey, just an aside, I'm starting to be more recognizing of people that are are kind. So I have a client that left this year. Actually, they did a big change in their business. They wanted to stay with me, and I just wasn't digging the vibe with them. We've talked about it before, but I noticed over time that I was enjoying talks with them and asked about how their family was and that, but they never asked about my family or how I was doing or anything like that. And I've started to make a mental note of that. So this guy was very kind and was not only inquiring about his project, but was also inquiring about how I was doing. And so when he sent that link to that book, I thought, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I listen to this book. And as an Audible book, I could get it for free for a month. And let me tell you, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful to him for sharing that. It's just an answer to a prayer I didn't know that I was praying, about where to go with the next level. So I'm going to share this with you right here. Oh man. Okay, full screen webcam in corner. Okay, the book is called The E-Myth Revisited. All right, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. So I'm going to now this is going to be a link to audible.ca, but here is that is not letting me paste. It's too long. All right, hold on. Let's see. Let me just get rid of this here. All right, here we go. Copy. Control A, delete, Control V. All right. This book is going to save me. Save me from... so I am about... a third of the way through, or halfway through. Now, let me tell you, the first 5 chapters that I listened to of this book were creepy because I thought that someone must have been reading my mind, must have been watching me at the point where I am struggling with my small business. It really, really, it was like, wow, this is crazy. And so, of course, a book like this, why most small businesses don't work, the beginning is the struggle and why things aren't working. And so I was really excited, and I'm just getting into the point now of how to make things different. I could already see it coming. Once he pointed out what the problems were, I started figuring okay, I think I see some things that need to be done. But the way that it is, the way that it handles... anyways, it's great. It really is great. And so, thankfully, this is a great blueprint for me and as an owner of a small business. And why, and mine's working in the sense that I'm not struggling for leads, not struggling for work, but it wasn't working because I just going down a rabbit hole. And one of the things that he mentions in there is that he talks about technicians and entrepreneurs. So a technician, that's what we do. We know how to build web pages. We know what we're doing. So we have the technical skills, and we think, hey, you know what? I could start a business and just do this myself. Why work for someone else? Now, that's not how I started my business. Of course, as you know, I retired from pastoring, and Susan and I went into a next stage of life for her working with refugees, and then I had the business that had grown as a side hustle, so I thought, I'll do that for business. So it wasn't that I looked at a boss and thought, oh, man, this guy or this girl's, if they can do it, I can do it. I was there and I thought, okay, I think this is how God's going to provide for us as we go in this stage of life. And so, but so he talks about technicians and entrepreneurs, and the entrepreneur looks at something. Sorry, business folk, not productivity folk per se. I think that's what you're saying. I can't just. I have to put a period in here. Yeah, per se. Excuse me. Yeah. Michael also says labels and rules in Gmail are a good tool. They certainly are. Oh, Valerie said a very popular book with some notable productivity gurus. You've been on the public library waitlist for over 2 months. Mary says, nice, I have some Amazon digital credits you can use to read it. Yes, Valerie, I see what you wrote before. Yeah, good. It is a great book. So the technician knows how to do things. The entrepreneur sees the opportunity to build a business, but one of the things that can happen is that you find yourself, and I think this is where I was, that you set out to start a business, own a business, and suddenly you find that you actually own a job. So there's not only what you know how to do, which is in our case build web pages, but when you start a business, you suddenly have all these other things that you have to do, bookkeeping and all sorts of stuff like that, and taxes and payroll if you do hire someone, or as me buying that business, so onboarding clients. When I had co-op students a couple summers ago with government funding, there's all those things. And so now you've got so much stuff that's keeping you from doing the work that the work of your business that needs to get done. And so then you fall behind and suddenly you realize you're trapped because you just have to keep working, and it's not getting any easier. So, yeah, really, really, really great book. And so I can easily, at the outset of 2024, I think that I have a great blueprint to start following for steps to make things, to get. I was going to say get my life back. It's not that I don't have a life, and it's not that I begrudge what I'm doing or anything like that. But it's got to be easier. So. Things have grown to the point in my business where, some things are not working well, and so that's one of the stages he talks about when you start to fall behind, and start to get emails from people or contacts from people saying, hey, or this order was wrong, or are you going to do this, and so that's anyways. So I highly recommend that book. Audible, you can do a free trial for a month. I think that you can do that. It's a great book. So that is something that is already having an impact on me. Now, I was thinking about this getting ready to do the live stream, and I thought, you know what? I bet you if I watched, back in all my plans for success videos, that there would be some things that consistently I say I'm going to do or struggle with and still am mentioning. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's a bit of I thought, oh yeah. But you know what? It is what it is, and I am who I am. And especially, and I thought, well, here on the channel, look, I break things on live streams. I struggle with things. I talk about things. I can't figure out things or miss simple things or whatever like that. And I don't mind because, a person's worth is not based on what they do or how good they are at tech or anything like that. So, and I imagine, and what I have found in the past is that if there are parts of my life that I don't want people to see, or I hope they don't see, like for instance, if when I was a pastor, I really want to be seen as a pastor that was really organized and had a gift for administration. And then when I realized that I didn't have that gift, I thought, oh, but that's how I want to be seen. And I was trying to do a lot of things so I looked like I was a good administrator, so people would think I was. And when I realized that I wasn't, and I just I thought, well, I'm just going to start telling people that I'm not. So I mentioned it was actually in a Sunday morning in a sermon. I said, I discovered this week that I don't have a gift for administration, and everybody laughed. And I realized that that everybody could see. Everybody could see what I was struggling with, anyways, right? Now, well, if somebody had come alongside me, that would have been nice. But anyways, so I recognize that in doing these videos that some of the things that I talk about, you probably are already nodding your heads like, yeah, Tim, we know that's how you are. And that is okay. Let me change the light here. Hey, Google, change Studio 3 to 50%. Oh, put it in. Yeah, I have to go. You have to turn off airplane mode. Yeah, let's just do that. Anyways, so yeah, some of these things that I'm talking about doing are things that I still am going to do. All right, let's try it again. Hey Google, change Studio 3 to 50%.
Okay. Setting
There,
Studio 3 brightness to 50%.
A little bit easier on my eyes. I got quite a shine going here today too. All right, so having talked about that book, Valerie asked, am I still happy with interfaces such as Calendly? Are your clients using it? Prepaying for a block of consulting time. You remember session we all had our reset more appointment. I still use Calendly. I have not ever set up Calendly so that people have to pay. I do have people paying me for consultations. It works really well for people to book a time to talk as well. I have it blocked. So that Calendly is working. I have considered setting it up so people can prepay for a consultation. But I'm hesitant to do that just because I wouldn't want people who see that they have to pay to not ask for help. Because this is something I learned from this E-Myth Revisited book, is that one of the things is to understand the purpose of your business. And my business, even though it's Joomla and Joomla support, what my product is delivering kind support. There's all kinds of people, all kinds of business out there, and I'm not saying that no one else does that, but all of us do Joomla. So what is it that will work well? What is the need that I can meet and build my business around? And that is the kind support. And so part of that is that is the free videos and people asking for help and helping out and organizing things so that in the Joomla world, excuse me, so that in the Joomla world, they are the people that are suffering in some places where they typically go to get support. Excuse me for 1 second. And I'm back after making some more noise. That is, my business supplies kind support. And in this case, the bulk of it is for Joomla. And Stefan says, I've worked with kind support since 1994 and has worked great for the customers. Yeah. And so that's my niche, and that is so I don't want to just so it's why also you'll notice that YouTube channels that are successful, I would say that mine is successful. It's not successful based on the number of subscribers, But YouTube channels reach a level of success, and then the people running them start to think, oh, what's the next level? How can I take this next level? Next thing that they do is they say, hey, join Patreon. And they start making special content for people. Now, when I don't have time or discipline to make special content for anything that people are paying monthly. But I also think that some YouTube channels really fail when they suddenly start saying, hey, there's more things we need to do. We need more money. So therefore, people value this, so we'll charge for it. And then they totally change. And that changes the model of their business. And then they start to suffer. So I just refuse to change the access to the resources that I make on the YouTube channel. Now I have talked so in the past I've talked about, instead of changing things, I will add things, and in the Joomla training cohort, that is something I want to add, and I would like to charge for that monthly someday. But right now I just tell clients when I'm telling them that my monthly management package, that the Joomla training cohort is included, and then I tell them, but it's not worth anything. So there's a little bit of honesty there to attract them. As far as having them people pay to book for time, I've not wanted to put up a paywall for that yet. Michael says, do you know that appointment scheduling is now available in Google Calendar for everyone? I did not know that, Michael. Ivor just discovered that I'd stream live. Yes. Hi, Ivor. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, Ivor, this is, remember on Wednesday I had Christmas with my kids, so I plan to put it up till Friday. All right. So, but that's a good question, Valerie. And I think that, I think that's totally legit to have people to pay to book for time as well. I also think, so everybody's got to figure out the model for their business that works and can be duplicated and that will be successful over and over again. And that's that's also in this book, The E-Myth Revisited. So it's very, so for that, yeah, I'm not against changing that either. If that works out, I might. I have considered making. I took out my hour-long appointment that people could book. I did change that this past year. I changed it to I have 15 minutes and half an hour. That time that people can book. I would probably. I think if I did make it so that people could pay to book time, I would have 15 minutes for free, and then maybe let them book half an hour. That might be good. The great thing about people booking time for free is it's an opportunity to meet other people and get to know them, see their projects, and it's an opportunity to pitch what you could do for what services you could offer them, and so you could turn that lead into paying work. But all right. So as I look here, so E-Myth Revisited. So one of the things that great moments, you know, when you're listening to a book or reading a book or taking a course or something, or maybe you're at a conference and someone's talking about something, and you're learning lots of things and there's great points, and then the speaker or the teacher will say something that you already figured out, and you think, hey, I'm not that much a loser as I thought I was. I already knew that. So there's a point in this book where the author points out that the biggest problem in your business is you. And I realized that years ago. I've been saying that for years. Now, don't be discouraged because he's not saying the biggest problem is you can't do it. I think he's talking about the biggest problem or the biggest obstacle. And one of the things that I forever have been struggling with is bookkeeping. Oh my goodness. As Judge Judy says, stick a fork in me, I'm done. Bookkeeping. I've had some people down through the years help me. I really was hoping that someone would just become passionate about handling that part of my business for me. I had one guy that was training to be a bookkeeper, and so he was doing stuff. And after a couple of months, he said to me, he says, "You know what? I realized bookkeeping really isn't for me." So another young person that I'd helped find their way in life. That did not help me. Then my business coach hooked me up with someone that was did bookkeeping, and that worked out really well. But their life path sort of changed, and you know, and so I let them off the hook. But they'd helped me clean up quite a bit of stuff. I had software set up for WHMCS invoices clients that sends the information to QuickBooks Online, but it was making a huge mess. When I went to get my year end done for filing my taxes, so my company's incorporated, so my accountant looked at the books and stuff like that, and for whatever reason, anyways, they asked some questions. So they did a whole bunch of work on my books that that I've been working along. And anyways, so long story short is last year I probably paid about $4,000 in bookkeeping. The bookkeeper sent me an email after everything was fixed, sent me this bill. It was a huge bill. It was actually going to be more. And I said, well, I wasn't anticipating this bill. I'm a big believer in just asking. I said, is there any way you could reduce it for me? And they took $900 off the bill. But they said, you know what? It would be cheaper for you, more affordable for you to have us do your books than to fix your books every year. And I just listened to this E-Myth Revisited. I was into that. My fiscal year end for my business is the end of November. And then I thought, you know what? I just need to make this change. So I fired my bookkeeper. Gave my bookkeeper notice. And of course, my bookkeeper was me. And I told them, I said, okay, the new fiscal year starts December 1st. I will get you to do my books. And then in email, sitting in person with them, and in email again, every single person, I told them this. I need you to tell me what to do. I don't want you to do what I ask you to do or ask help to do. I don't know what I'm doing. Just tell me and I'll do it. And so I'm happy to say that just today I finished the last bit of reconciliation of my business credit card for the end of November. I unsubscribed from QuickBooks Online's payroll tool because the accountant's doing that. And now I just send everything to the accountant and they're handling it. And they're going to tell me what to do, how to do it. And in retrospect, I realized that I've been spending hours. Last year, how many hours would I spend? 60. I bet you I spent my last fiscal year easily 60 hours in the year doing bookkeeping, struggling, trying to figure out what was this or that, or reconcile why this didn't work, or more. That's 60 hours I could be working on things. And so, that's 60 hours I could be making money. I make more than what they charge. My hourly rate is higher than theirs, but that's also 60 soul-sucking, brain-numbing hours that kills productivity. One of the big points in the E-Myth Revisited, and I see lots of comments and I can catch up on them, is don't work in your business, work on your business. And so I'm happy to say that starting already with my fiscal year beginning in December, but I am no longer doing the bookkeeping for my business. I'm paying someone to do that. And so I am working on my business in that aspect and not in. All right. Jeff says eMyth and eMyth seminars were great. He used to be a big distributor of personal development products, cassette CD. About 18 years ago, when those media types died, you shifted to web development. Valerie, let's see. Valerie says yes, that he did. Valerie knew that Chrome, that Gmail. Let's just see here. Google Calendar can book things. Valerie said yes, but you're planning to integrate with a Gmail account. Oh, you're not planning to integrate with your Gmail account. You're looking at those type of integrations. Yeah, I like Calendly because it creates a Zoom meeting, and I find that most people can do Zoom. So it automatically creates a Zoom meeting. But yeah, I'm going to consider it because I'm open to using more different systems. So, for instance, getting rid of the payroll add-on for QuickBooks Online saves me 25 and 4, probably save me about $40 a month. And then once they get my books moved to their system, I can stop paying for QuickBooks Online every month, which is I think 40 something as well. Jeff, you got into Joomla 1 just after it forked from Mambo. Yeah, okay, you've been around for a long time. And Valerie, you're looking at especially proposals, contracts with e-signatures, invoicing, accounting, appointments. Yeah. I will tell you this, that I still need to keep track of the balance of my checking account for when I'm doing transfers. And so I went to this Wave Apps. It's free. It syncs to, my big thing is that it syncs to my account, so it downloads transactions. Waveapps.com. That is the only bookkeeping that I'm doing, simply because I have to keep track. I have to know what the ongoing balance is. And since the accountant will be taking care of that, I need to know that my credit card, when I set my credit card payment to go out in 2 weeks advance, how much money I'm going to have. So I do keep track of the ongoing balance, but I don't categorize. I don't do anything. I just keeping track of what the balance is so I can see what's coming in and that. So that's that. But yeah, Valerie, you're gonna so looking for all those systems for setting up. Yeah, you're gonna have to find one that works. What works for you? Yeah, Valerie, that Wave Apps, I googled the best free accounting bookkeeping apps, and there's a bunch that were paid, and I checked this one out. I could do it with QuickBooks, but we don't have the newest version of, not QuickBooks, Quicken. I could do it with Quicken as well. And I know Quicken, we do our personal stuff with that, but I thought, I don't want to get into Quicken and setting things up. I need something that downloads so I can track that. Amos Dalmeri Fiorino. Hello, Amos. That's a new name here in the live stream as well. Welcome. Where are you watching from? Valerie says you don't have the funds to spend too much on those kind of upfront expenses. You have a long history of kind support unpaid. Yes. Yeah, kind support unpaid. That's good. Especially in the Joomla community, because we're here helping each other, right? Oh, Amos is in Italy. Great. Nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. So, death by software as a service, SaaS. You can see lots of things that are great. Lots of things that are super helpful that are only going to cost $10 a month, $15 a month, whatever. Next thing you know, you're paying hundreds of dollars a month for those things. Having said that, though, you got to spend money to make money, I think. Remember too that this is great for me. And I know we're jumping around here, but ClickUp.com. All right, this is what I'm using for task management, project management, and let me tell you, it works for me. Their ad when I first signed up was that they would give me an extra day, save me a day's work each week, and they do. Even for instance now, like I said today, when I went looking for my plans for success for last year, I had a task set up with my notes. It takes the discipline of making sure you're entering things, but it's great, and it's free, and there's a ton of features in it for free. So I used to use a time tracking thing. I'd pay like $16 a month or something like that, so I could keep track of tasks, so I knew how much to bill people. That's included. Like the time. No, I was using the free version. I want to use the paid version because there were some features that I wanted. ClickUp was just amazing, just for the time tracking itself, just for the time. And as Stefan says, it works great. Yeah, Stefan and I are using ClickUp on things that we're working on. A bit of a learning curve to it, but that is awesome. You'll and again, it's a tool that I probably barely use to its full potential, but it's helping me. All right, let's catch up on these comments here. Valerie says, I think these integrations might help me by setting up people's expectations so you don't have to keep self-advocating for income. Yes. That's the other thing, too, is that the way that you do business will attract people. So if you're organized, or if they see that there's a 15-minute free consultation, and then time after that there's a price for hourly or that, then they'll understand, oh, this person expects to be paid for their time. And if they're people that don't want to pay, then maybe think, oh, okay, I'm not going to pay. I got to find someone that's free. And you've already pre-qualified the people that are contacting you. I think too that when people see, hey, let's talk about this. My main website here, it looks great, but it's organized terribly. And even if we go to the Joomla training cohort, plain white and not super inspiring, I find, and especially with the menu and that, right? So yeah, first impressions. But as you're doing things with people, that's a really good point, Valerie. You don't need to worry about the topic moving on either, because that's how it works in live streams and chat. Mary says, as a Joomla specialist, use this for invoicing. Let's check that out. Periodically, I have to generate an invoice, so that might be handy too. It's a demo and buy and download. How much is that? Invoice manager, 39. Let's view our the plans here. Okay, so there's something to check out. Include the files, technical support, access to updates. All right. Yeah, great. I use this WHMCS, but I use this for managing the hosting that I sell as well. And so it sends out invoices monthly. People can log on, they pay. You probably have seen this interface quite a bit. Maybe with a lot of companies use it. It invoices automatically. If someone pays for a domain renewal, it will automatically renew the domain through your registrar. So a lot of this is automated. That's really important for me, especially now. Stripe, people can record their credit cards on there, and so they get billed monthly. Their monthly, their bill automatically pays for their credit card. They don't have to do things. You lose the percentage for the credit card payment, but you save because the money just goes in your account. And so WHMCS. Let's see here. Control copy. Let's go here. Put this here. Yeah. All right. So, and what is the pricing for that? I think I pay, $18.95, that's US, a month for 250 active clients. But this is really great for me. Works really well. All right. Ivor asked a good question here. Do you have to make the invoices in chronological order in your countries? Yeah, so that's something Ivor has to do. He has to make invoices in chronological order. Oh, and Stefan. Okay, Stefan uses WHMCS as well. Works very well for hosting accounts and support plans. Yes. If someone's my monthly Joomla management package, people it's set up. It just reminds them every month to pay, invoices them, or it takes the payment, or they pay by wise.com. That's another. Let me just wise.com. Oh, there you go, wise.com. This is what I use for receiving payments from people in different parts of the world. So I have a U.S. account, British sterling, euros, and it works really well. I know that in Norway they're behind, because I was talking to Bjorn about this, that Wise is behind approving applications from Norway. But Ivor has to make invoices in chronological order. So Ivor, does that mean that you can't do an invoice? You can't backdate an invoice or something like that. Is that correct? Okay, yeah. Ivor also uses WHMCS, but has to manually copy the invoices over to the accounting system. Yes, so that's where I was paying like $200 US a year for a program that would sync from it would sync from WHMCS to QuickBooks Online. It was a bear to set up, and I'm out of that now. I don't do that, but there are some bridges there. All right, let's get back here. All right, so fire my bookkeeper. All right. Oh, you have to credit the wrong invoice and make a new one. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. Great to find someone to do that for you if you can, Ivor. All right, so fired my bookkeeper. Amos says he started following my channel recently, and you're a full stack developer and also likes CMS. Do you need do we need a remote developer? Could we collaborate? Amos, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com. We'll talk about that. tim@cybersalt.com. Yeah, the developing is interesting to me. So yeah, we could talk about that. You guys know you're all welcome to email me anytime. About questions or ideas or things that you want to do or whatever. All right, so this year WHMCS, I think it only works with cPanel. Because WHM is the web hosting manager is the company that does cPanel. I think it only does. I could be wrong, but you could check with them, Jeff. Buy another business. I would buy another business. I really enjoyed that. That worked out well. I learned quite a bit, and like I said, there's still some catching up I need to do onboarding the clients that I bought earlier this year. But that was something that worked out really well, and I enjoyed it. In fact, whenever often I will get recommended to connect with people as Facebook friends who go to my church, and so because they're just geotagging us or locating us. So a couple of weeks ago, there's a guy, then I sent him a friend request, and then I saw him in church the next day or the next weekend. And he says, on your webpage, I see that you do Joomla. He says, I do WordPress. And I went, how'd you end up on my webpage? And it was like, that's right, we friend request and that. Anyway, so he's wrapping up his business. Yeah, and so he said he would like to give me his clients. So I said, okay. that's great. I said, I really enjoyed buying a business earlier in the year. I'd be happy, it worked out well. I'd be happy to buy your clients from you. He says, no, no, no. He says, I'm just moving the business. He says, I'm done with that. This is the last 10 I'd like to give them to you. Now, they're WordPress clients, but in keeping with the whole thing here about the E-Myth Revisited, I do have someone through Chaitin's, Madon's company, that I can do WordPress stuff with. And so I've met with John, the fellow who's closing his business, and in the new year, I'm going to sort out onboarding those clients. So that is something that's really good. I liked hiring. I like buying business and the clients. That worked really well. The business I bought is based in New York State. And so I just bought the clients because I don't want the tax hassles of owning something in the States. And that's really all really the business was very similar to mine. And ours, the businesses that we do with hosting and web page stuff and support. So there's that. All right, so buy another business. I would do that or accept another business. Build out a team. All right, so here's the broken record, right? Here's the broken record. Oh, Tim's going to say that he needs to build out a team again. And so the same thing that I did with the accounting, that I just had to stop doing it as of December 1st, the new fiscal year. I have purposed in my heart that any new business, any new work that I get after the first has to be done by a team member. I have to build a team because I cannot do it all. And I need, according to this, the ideas in this E-Myth Revisited book, I need to work on my business, not in it, so that it runs without me, even though I have to work on it. So I can't just do it and not take care of the business, but I need to get myself out of so many things. Whatever weakness it is in my mind that makes it hard to delegate or pass things on or be organized, and it's just easier for me to just do it myself. I have to win. I have to be the hero of that story. I have to overcome that. And so a goal that I have in keeping with this path is that because I'm going out of this year with a whole bunch of stuff I'm still behind on. And like I said, I'm the biggest hurdle in the company. But so I've just got to do that. And it is easy to say yes to work when there's an opportunity or a new lead or work that someone wants done. So I've got to do that. So that is like, as much as I've said that over the years, need to build a team. I think thanks to this book, I've got a path and the steps. And also, I just really, I've worn the pencil of myself down to a stub, and I've got to do that. So, all right. So one of the other things that I'm going to do as of the new year as well is use the Joomla training cohort forum. Joomla training cohort forum. All right, so here we go. Joomla training cohort. I don't even know how to find it on here. I do have a forum somewhere. Oh, I bet you this is here. See it? Support. Oh, forum would be forum, wouldn't it? this has been there for a while. I've talked about it before. I'm going to because I have more, and it doesn't bother me. I love it. I enjoy it, but I have more help requests that just need a friendly answer, or that I have a video for, or people ask questions. I'm going to direct people to post their questions in the Joomla training cohort forum. As they're posted, then we'll be able to navigate them and organize them and move them where I need to. But instead of me answering them in private email, and I enjoy doing that. I'm not complaining. I'm not whining. I'm not sad about it. But I'm going to do that in the forum, and that is an opportunity for everyone in the forum to also help people with the free support. And of course, in keeping with what I realize my company's special sauce is, or at least what I want to build my company around, and that is kind support. So that is going to help me as well, because I don't want to disappoint people, and when they ask for help, especially when I can easily help them, but it does take time. And so I think that this would help people, because then most common questions, then they're all organized and we can just point them to that, or maybe they'll find them when they're Googling. So that's a big one. This build out a team, and this one, those are big. Those are big items. They're must dos. I've got to succeed at those, and so I'm going to encourage people. Say, hey, just explain to them, hey, due to the popularity of the channel and my enjoyment of helping, I've created a forum where people can ask questions, so I can answer there to help manage, so that others can find answers and others can help them with answers. And for me, the risky thing of the forum is that I just want it to be kind, and the kind of support that it needs to be. And so that's going to require some monitoring as well. But I guess that's the challenge of letting go of things, is that we all have an idea of how things should be done, or see how they're done. And I guess there's a thought that when you let other people do things, or you put things out in a forum like this, then it could require work to maintain it, or to moderate it, or to train. Training's a big thing, according to the system that my company runs, and how I do things. When I talk about in the trailer of my YouTube channels, learn to do Joomla the way CyberSalt does Joomla. And so if the support forum needs to be a way that CyberSalt does Joomla, and so at times it requires some training or some moderating or that. So that is, that's key too. So I have to be very intentional about that. I think it's going to be good. I think it's the way to go. Again, I just have to get over myself. But there's an excitement that comes from this E-Myth Revisited that happens along the way, that I'm excited about my business. I've always enjoyed it. I'm super happy and grateful for it. But I'm excited about it again. It wasn't that I was not excited about it, like I was like down on it, but it's like I'm excited because I just to have an idea of what to do. And so it's going to take work, but I can see that the work will pay off, because I'll be working on the right thing. So Ivor's glad that he's retired and have somebody to handle day-to-day business in your absence. Yes, that's great. I've got, so Susan is doing stuff. She's been running payroll. Susan, I'm paying Susan to do a newsletter that I send out. That's a personal newsletter that I've sent out that plays into some goals that I have some. I would like to get the business going smoother so that I can work on my personal project, what I'd like to be doing, and that is I would like to be making videos also that are spiritual oriented. Most of you know that I'm a follower of Jesus, and there's things that I'm learning and things that I'm thinking and things that come to me from when I'm reading my Bible and things that I want to share with people. And again, in a down-to-earth, relatable way. And so I'd like to do that online in a different YouTube channel. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. So, but that I can't take that project on until things are going differently. But yeah, so I've got Susan that's doing a newsletter, which is the demographic that would want to watch my videos if I start that other project. I have Gunur, who's a co-op student. He was one of my co-op students, so he's still in university, so he works on a site at a time here and there for me. And I have Shabazz over in Thailand. Stefan has done some work for me. I had I needed some core Joomla stuff done, so Bjorn did some project, worked on a template for me a couple months ago. I've had Mary do things, so I need to keep growing that. Now, when I talk, I have a line here: expand team in Thailand. Shabazz is probably watching this, maybe the replay. Shabazz is in Thailand. He is a refugee, so he had to flee from his country for his life. And recently, someone referred another refugee in Thailand to me who is interested in learning internet things because they are not able to work and they have to be careful in Thailand because of anyways, long story. So Shabazz doesn't know this. So I think I'm gonna get Shabazz to train that person up on what Shabazz knows, because Shabazz is growing really well in his Joomla stuff, and I think that's going to add to another person. Oh, I've also had Imran do some stuff for me there in Bangladesh as well. So, yeah. So, all right. Ivor's got some things here, but okay. Jeff said, yes, building out a team was what I learned from E-Myth, but you still find yourself playing too integral a part to where you're allowing yourself to be a limitation of your business's growth. Yep. Good. I hear you, Jeff. I don't expect that this is going to be a switch that I throw on, because it's a switch that I've been flicking for years now. But yes, thanks. It's cool to hear that I'm reinvigorated excitement about my business. Yeah. So it's positive. I think making reasonable goals isn't a positive exercise, because it gets us looking forward to the future and thinking. I mean, that's what New Year's resolutions are. Some of these I cannot accomplish completely or with full success, but it's the way to go, and I know that. Alrighty, let's see here. So Ivor, has anybody ever tried this? Let's just see here.
Wix is your platform to perform on.
We've got a Wix ad coming up here. We'll skip.
Take a look at this AI news channel.
Oh, how to create a news channel with ChatGPT and AI news video generator. Let me just see here.
Take a look at this AI
There we go,
news
right there.
channel.
A 7-day free trial. That would be interesting. I I think that YouTube probably has enough. I mean, we're gonna see all this AI stuff explode. I am trying not to watch AI generated channels. Right. So if I recognize that it's an AI voice, I don't watch topical videos on that. Now, having said that, I recognize AI voices in English gives people an opportunity for income and to make a living online that otherwise they wouldn't. So I don't want to take people's agency away. And I know that it's coming. I'm just not there yet. All right. So now, if anybody doesn't speak English as a first language and they're putting together a channel or they're putting together a topic and they're using an English voiceover that's AI, that's fine. And if they've got a fake person who's talking, I'm okay with it. I think a lot of my video watching is enjoying the connection with the person as well. So I guess if I wanted to just get something instructional, I would. We're looking for a replacement shower cartridge for our shower unit. 10 minutes with the person who was at the parts counter the other day, and then I realized, and they couldn't find it, and I realized, I should just ask ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT for what was the part number for the replacement cartridge for this such and such a kit, and it searched 2 or 3 web pages and came back, gave me the number. I gave it to the person, and they found it. So I'm not anti-AI. I'm not all judgy. If someone creates a news channel that is putting together information and they use AI to do that, then I'm good with that. But that's cool that, there's tools there. And you know what? Someone's Blink List AI Andy. So that's an affiliate program. And $6.25 a month, $75. Let's see what it says here. Probably, one of the ways that people make money on YouTube is making videos about things that are trending, right? And so there and go. Already is letting you try Blink. Why AI and recommend Blink List to help you learn and grow every day. That's different than create a news channel with ChatGPT. Maybe. Is that the idea? He's talking about how to do that, and you get the ideas from Blink List. I don't know. Anyways, I've not tried that, but if people are using it, it's great. Ivor likes my voice better. Thanks, Ivor. Stefan says he uses AI mainly for simple practical things like translation help, great regex searches and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty handy. I've been using it for removing formatting from email forwards. So one of the clients that I bought, it's a funeral home, and then when they send me a new obituary that needs to be added or memorial, it's forwarded to me the formatting of whatever they're typing it out, and it's really awkward. So I put it into ChatGPT and just ask them to remove the email formatting. But I've realized I have to actually tell ChatGPT, do not change the content, otherwise it rewrites it, and I know they don't want it rewritten. So, although, they could probably use that in their business. Ivor asked Bard to list my videos. Let's see here. Let's put this link right here. Make a list of videos and basic Joomla tutorials. There you go. And it kind of looked and joined things together. I don't think I can use Bard here in Canada yet. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Where do I type this? bard.google.com experiment. Where the heck do I type? Oh, Bard isn't currently supported in your country. I don't know why it's not supported in Canada yet. I think it's partly because the Canadian government is forcing Google to pay news people for sharing on there. All right, well, let's move on to the personal stuff. Once again, top of my list, unfollow unhealthy Facebook people. I don't really have that many to unfollow anymore. It's pretty good. But it is something that I think is really helpful to do. Get out of bed sooner. All right, so this is a big change for me. I don't know if this is a work thing or a personal thing, but I decided, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. It's going to require new work habits, but I have decided that I am not going to work past 10 p.m. at night. I originally thought 11, but I thought, no, it's too late. 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to close the tabs, tidy my desk, turn off my computer. For me to do that, I'm going to have to become a better worker during the day. And mornings are rough for me, but I need for my health to sort that all out. And so, like, for instance, this cold that I have here, I think it really is just from lack of sleep and eating a lot of junk food over Christmas. So I can't be doing that. So I'm going to try that. 10 o'clock, just shut it off. One of the things in this ebook here is that your business is not your life. It should contribute to your life. Of course, income and reward for work well done and things like that. But and that's a big challenge for us working at home. That's a challenge for us working at home because life is right here happening at home, right? So yeah, I'm gonna try. That's maybe gonna be one of the biggest changes for me, because if I do that, then some of these things, the building of the team, the Joomla training cohort forum, and the not working past 10 p.m. These are things I'm going to have to, they're going to be brute force efforts in my life. Those are not like, oh, my pencil is already sharp. My pencil's there. I just need to sharpen it. No, these are like the pencil needs to be ground. It is flat on the end. So, but that's just something that I've got to do. And I need to do it for quality of life. And just to be happier. I'm not saying I'm not happy, but yeah, I've got to get that. I've got to get that figured out. So, because my habits are not great. So I wrote down here, no more YouTube puddle. I don't know about you, but I can watch YouTube videos for hours. It's just something that turns my mind into a puddle. So I've got some favorite YouTube channels I like to watch. I like to watch Mr. Beast videos. I like to catch up on the daily updates on what's happening with the war in Ukraine. I've got between Russia and Ukraine. So I got a channel I watch there. I like marble races. So there are some things that I like, but I just am I've got to stop becoming a YouTube puddle because it is super demotivational. So if I'm going to brute force some of these things, I need to be sharp. And so I think, it's easier. I think it is easier to replace. It's easier to quit a habit if you replace it with something. So if it's just like I'm not going to do that anymore. Well, what am I going to do at that time? So I think what I'm going to try to do is listen to Audible books. This one's working well for me. There's another E-Myth Mastery, so that's great. This Audible, like for me, is $14.95 Canadian a month. If I listen to a book each month and benefit as much as I've just benefited from this one that I've described there, then that's going to help. So by not becoming a YouTube puddle, I put my finger in I patch a hole where I'm leaking, and then do something different that will fill up beyond that point as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do for that. Ivor said, have I tried a VPN? No, I've not tried a VPN. The problem is that to use it, I have to log in with my account, and they know I'm in Canada. So, but that's a good idea. I'll try it. Jeff says they're using AI to take a pastor's daily audio message, transcribe it to English, translate it to multiple languages, and have it spoken by AI in those languages, accessed by web or telephone. Nice. Nice. That's a great use of AI. Yeah. And you're sure that the not past 10 p.m. is a tough one. Yep. I think it will be. Last thing for personal goal for me, and that is I want to spend more time with the men at my church. And by that I mean, I have found in recent months that Susan and I became members at the church that we attend. And but anyways, I just enjoy connecting, making friends at the church. And I've been benefiting, and by the grace of God, I guess others benefit too. There's a proverb in the Bible that says, iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. I've just been feeling drawn that I need to get out and have some coffee times with some of the men at the church, just to spend time with other men and to be out. And so I just think that that's something and I can't really do that unless I have the business working smoothly so that I can take a break from it during the day. So, yeah, Jeff says personal development rocks. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my thing. Valerie said she did exactly that. Instead of going down the rabbit hole on YouTube for hours daily, you now insist on reading a novel. Can you believe it? For 1 hour each night. It's felt fantastic. Good. Yeah, listen, we are not what we do. That's the whole thing behind kind support. If someone asks a question asking for help, there are just some people that what they know and what they do and the need to show it is how they feel their reason to exist, or to feel that they matter. And that's not what makes us matter. Our value is not in our technical abilities or our Joomla abilities or what we know, or even and that's if it is, then helping people becomes a competition. We're competing to show them how much we know. But it still leaves us alone at the end. When we've proven, if we prove to everyone that we know the best and our way is the best, then we're number one all alone. The people on the podium, second and third, have an easier time looking at each other than the person at first, by the way. So, Ivor says he tries to do that, but keeps falling in the rabbit hole. Yeah. So, personal development. Yeah, become who it is that that God wants you to be. And so, yeah, I think these are things that I feel are wise things to do. They're things that I feel prompted and moved to do, and I think they are the. I'm just grateful to God for whatever insights or plans or things that have come along. He sent my way through all of you, through others, like the fellow that suggested this book, and yeah. So I just want to grow in that. So, all right, now let me just show you something that I bought with money, Christmas money that my parents gave me. Sent me at Christmas. So Susan and I were listening to that ebook together, and we tried to listen to it in the car. I had a 2007 Chevy Impala, so there is no hookup for my phone to go through the speakers. And I thought about getting one of those Bluetooth things that goes through the speakers, but we tried putting one earbud in each ear, but it was like windy and it was rainy and we could barely hear. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get one of these. This is just a USB stereo, USB speakers. No, USB, Bluetooth speakers. So I took the money that my parents had sent me. This is like $50 on Amazon. Anchor is their brand. And then it came yesterday. I cannot believe the sound quality of this. I hooked it up to my phone. I started playing the E-Myth book. It was so amazing. So I'm going to be able to listen to books in the car. Also, this is like has a microphone. You can make. I don't have. My phone does not connect to my car for making calls. I think I can make calls and talk using voice in the car with this speaker. It is really cool. $50 on Anchor. Link to speaker. Yeah. You Bluetooth. Let's see. Let's just go here. There it is right there. All right. This is the Canadian link. Chuck, Happy New Year to you. Yeah, that's the Canadian link. And I got black. If they had orange, I would have gotten orange. But black is fine. It says it's got 24 hours. And playtime. It was just great. But yeah, you can. This is. I like getting stuff at Christmas. Susan and I did not get each other anything. You might count. Maybe we could count the hot water tank last week, but we didn't get each other anything for Christmas because we just get stuff during the year, and we're fine with that. But I do like to have something to play around with at Christmas, and this is really cool, and good ratings. And I know there's more expensive Bluetooth speakers that are that probably have even better sound quality, but it's amazing quality. Amazing. Jeff says he can relate. I'm the worst friend ever. No time, but you're working on it. Yeah. All right, so let's go. Here we are. All right, so there you go. That's my plans for 2024. Lots there. I don't know if I refer back to this, probably until next year. I'm going to duplicate this and make it so that I can find my notes for next year. But I am excited about that book, and looking forward to the accumulative progress, the big change that little progress can make. Everybody, thank you for a great year. Hey, let me just show you this here. Full screen. Yeah, let's go here. Let's go YouTube. Switch account. No, YouTube Studio. That's all right, Bjorn. No problem. Yeah, here's my YouTube channel. Just, I think the day after Christmas, crossed 4,500 subscribers. It was 4,501, I think, on Boxing Day. Boxing Day, day after Christmas here in Canada. And then it dropped down to 4,500. So, yeah, thank you, everybody. I decided, I think the last thing that I made a big to-do about was 2,500, and I decided that I wasn't going to share until I reached 5,000. But I will share it here. My Christmas Day Maintenance Monday, lowest performing in the last 10 videos, but that's all right. Yeah, 4,507 subscribers. So everybody, I just want to thank you for, let me just change here. I just want to thank you for being a part of this channel and part of my life and your support of it and us hanging out together and the way that we help each other. And I do appreciate you all very much. And I'm very grateful for this little community that we have here around the channel. And I appreciate your patience and your kindness and yeah, I like we have a good thing in the Joomla community, and I like this little corner of the Joomla community that we have. So yeah, so everybody, yes, you're saying Happy New Year and thanks in the channel. You are very welcome. Happy New Year to you. And yeah, I hope that it is a good one. Let's see here. All right. So had I had time, I thought I might get that MIDI file lined up for the outro music, but we'll just stick with the slow music. Chuck will need to speak with yourself, Tim. All right, Chuck. Chuck, I'm going to hit you up on Facebook right after this. All right. And then we'll sort that out, whatever that is. And then I'm going to have some breakfast. And you know what? I have a friend that I go out for a coffee with. We actually we have a new McDonald's near us. So we have been going out I get the seniors tea at McDonald's. He gets the seniors coffee. We split a medium fries and we hang out. So I think I'm going to do that today. Oh, Stefan, that's very kind of you to say. Yes. All right. Well, I guess we'll just wrap it up there. Everybody, as usual, I hope that wherever you are, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that this finds you well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, Happy New Year, and God bless.